You're watching Mavericks on Your Story. If you live in today's fast-paced urban India, chances are you wished it was simpler to hire an electrician, plumber, or even a beautician for personal services at home. Our maverick on this episode is someone who has converted this need and opportunity that was otherwise tucked away in the yellow pages into one of India's largest online service platforms. A disciplinarian with dogged perseverance, he's focused on making urban lives more fulfilling and efficient in just a clap.
I wanted to build things, create things, be part of an institution building journey. The whole idea of home and local services and the need for organization felt like something whose time had come. We interacted with many service professionals, realized that they were at the behest of middlemen who were eating away into majority of the margins, customers who cribbed about lack of standards, lack of quality, lack of punctuality. And that was about it for us. I'm actually a big fan of Usain Bolt. I remember this one line that he said, the race is the easy part. The tough part is behind the scenes. It's the day in, day out training and hard work that you have to put. I like that concept of regimented hard work and discipline. So that's when we said, let's pick one category and let's at least understand what it takes to go really deep and own the service delivery experience. It was literally like peeling the onion, one step at a time. See, we are creating a new generation of micro entrepreneurs. That's, I think, something that we're very proud of. I don't think it was anything out of the ordinary. I had a solid middle class background. So I think up until 5 years back, it was a fairly linear, straightforward trajectory. Urban Lab was born over 3 to 4 months of lots and lots of conversations at my home, Varun's home and Raghav's home. At some point, my wife started to wonder if I'm actually really doing something or just sitting around the whole day chilling. But there was a very interesting time after we had shut down our first businesses. So all three of us, when we came together, we had that commonality, which is we had tried something, it had failed, so we had a much more real understanding of what it takes to build a business. But at the same time, we were, raring to go. The whole idea of home and local services and the need for organization felt like something whose time had come. We interacted with many service professionals, realized that they were at the behest of middlemen and aggregators who were eating away into majority of the margins. We met customers who cribbed about lack of standards, lack of quality, and that was about it for us. I don't think we had a very, very good idea of how and what we were going to build, but we had a good idea that this was a large market which was broken and fragmented, and therefore, with the help of technology, we could actually build a business here. As a space and as a category, I was sure on day one. The interesting thing about this category is it's a very unsexy category. Pardon my French, but it is, because it takes so much to get your hands dirty in this category. Competition typically shies away from it, so we love it for that reason. About a year into building Urban Lab, sometime in 2015, the quality of service that the end user was getting was not really good. It wasn't at par with what we wanted to build. And as a team, we really asked ourselves a simple question that, why did we even get started on this journey? We got started because we wanted to deliver, high quality services. People should rave about the Urban Lab service. And the path that we are on today, which is driven by this light touch technology model, is not really going to get us there. We certainly didn't have a game-changing idea. I don't even think it's an idea. It's more like an area that we are working in, right? Or a sector that we are working in and trying to evolve this sector. And many people prior to Urban Lab had done something similar to Urban Lab. So it wasn't like we were unique or new or the first to the market. For me, simplicity in lifestyle, discipline and regiment has worked, and it has kept me sane and it has kept me on track in this journey. I'm actually a big fan of Usain Bolt. He comes across as the most gifted, talented athlete. If you remember his early races from the 2008 Beijing Olympics, he would almost jog himself across the finish line, look back, cheer on his competition, and he makes it look so easy that one is tempted to believe that he is naturally gifted, natural born athlete. But if you read more about him and you read about his training schedule, he's actually someone who puts himself or used to put himself when he was an active sportsman through the most rigorous training schedule possible, to the point where he would end up puking almost every other day. I remember this one line that he said, the race is the easy part. The tough part is behind the scenes. It's the day in, day out training and hard work that you have to put. I like that concept of, day in, day out, consistent, regimented hard work and discipline. That's when we said, let's pick one category and let's at least understand what it takes to go really deep and own the service delivery experience so that the user is just booking from UrbanClap. The most interesting challenge was the first time when we decided to go really deep in a particular category, and we picked up the category of beauty services. The biggest competitive advantage that, in my opinion, UrbanClap has built is a fairly deep integration that we have with our supply ecosystem. And this runs actually at 5 levels. It's not just about unlocking market access for them and sending them customer orders. We also provide financing support, bank account opening, loans, insurance to them. We standardize the entire service delivery experience. We run training programs upfront and on an ongoing basis, so that helps service partners improve their skill levels. And finally, we also control the supply chain of consumables or products that are used during the service delivery process. So this makes the life of the service partner very easy. So they just order on their app and it gets delivered to their doorstep. So this entire sort of ecosystem that we have built at the back end, we believe is our strongest moat. It then took us 2 years to perfect this 5-level model. So it wasn't overnight. It was literally like peeling the onion, one step at a time. Once we understood, I think sometime in early 2017, we started to accelerate really fast. And in the last 2 years, we've done it in appliance repair, electricians, plumbers, carpenters, cleaning, and now painting. We see it as our sustainable competitive advantage. So initially, it was extremely challenging to onboard service providers. I think you have to understand, in our business, we don't just have to onboard, we have to select service professionals. So we have to background verify them, we have to skill verify them, they have to go through a training, and eventually only about 20 to 30% of the people who actually come and apply to us make the cut and get selected. Today, I think the challenges have become more around scale, right? If you're onboarding 2,000 or 3,000 service partners every month, that means you have to train 2,000 or 3,000 partners every month across the length and breadth of the country. Those are the kind of challenges which are, scalability related challenges that we face now. The first round of funding that we had raised was in April 2015 from Axel Partners and SAIF Partners. Couldn't believe somebody was giving us $1.5 million. We've raised since then $110 million in total across 5 rounds of funding. We focused on delivering high quality services with a high NPS. Quality comes at a price. Somebody told me early on that convenience, price, and quality you can pick two. I don't think we are expensive. I think we are right priced. See, we are creating a new generation of micro entrepreneurs through the UrbanClap platform. A service professional who was earlier making 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 rupees a month is now associating themselves with UrbanClap and working for themselves, but under the safety umbrella of UrbanClap. From the offline world, where the end service professional who's actually delivering the service surprisingly only gets to keep 20-30% of whatever you pay as the consumers. We reverse that math and they get to keep 80% of everything that the customer pays. Many of our beauticians drive in their own cars to customers' homes. They've bought their own homes. Several of them make upwards of 1 lakh rupees per month. We are very proud of the impact that we create on the service partner ecosystem. We operate in 11 cities in total, 10 in India and Dubai. We have about 20,000 monthly active partners on the platform. We serve more than 6.5 lakh homes every month. Those are the numbers. They're actually quite small right now. I would say we've created a household name or a household brand when we are serving 50 million homes every month through 1 million service professionals. We'd like to be a little bit larger when we go public. I think a couple of years back, I was thinking, $100 million in net revenue is a good milestone. Probably will get there sooner than I had imagined. I think we are definitely the market leaders in this space, but the category is nascent and small right now. So the onus is also on us to build the category and grow the category many-fold over the next few years. But we are the largest home services player online. Also in certain segments, we are the largest player online or offline. We are the largest beauty services company in the country. It was surprising to us because we think we are just getting started.
So where are we headed today, Abhiraj?
So we're actually heading to a customer's home. this is a customer who's booked AC service and repair from us. She's a regular customer for Urban Clap. We haven't told them that we're coming, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for her. But this is something that I do quite often. I just randomly show up to customers' homes.
So you said you do it often, and considering that the seasons that we have here, it's currently summer. Category-wise, AC service and repair, and probably in the winter towards the New Year, home cleaning services are highly in demand.
Yes.
So is Urban Clap at this point in time equipped to meet this demand?
I think about this in two ways. One is there are certain categories which are evergreen, like beauty services at home. And that's always helpful because your supply side planning can match up the demand expectations. And then there are certain seasonal categories like AC service and repair. And there what we try to do is we try to equip or train our service partners in at least one or two other service categories. So for example, if they're doing AC in the summer, then they can do geyser or something else in the winter.
So now that we're literally on the road, I know that you like to travel a lot.
Yeah.
Which is the last place that you visited?
Last place I visited was Pench Wildlife Sanctuary. It was a beautiful, beautiful wildlife sanctuary. We saw 5 tigers. That was great.
Let me talk about time travel as well. Would you go into the past or the future to sort of change or alter anything?
I think if I have to go into the past, I would probably go way back into the past. Maybe before Christ, around the time of Gautam Buddha or Ashoka, just to see how the life was then. And similarly, if I had to travel into the future, I would travel way into the future, like maybe 1,000 years. Hopefully the human race will survive by then, but yeah, maybe 1,000 years ahead or 2,000 years ahead, just to see how different life can be, either historically or into the future.
And hopefully Urban Clap will still be there.
Oh, that would be amazing. If Urban Clap is still around. On a more serious note, we do aspire for this company to outlive all of us today, who are employees of this company. I think great organizations are built to last, not built to sell, and that's how we think of Urban Clap.
Sure, that's an interesting perspective. I've also read that you are quite an adrenaline junkie. Things like scuba diving, skydiving are experiences that you enjoy. So what really drives you to take on these things?
I like my vacations to be activity based. So skydiving is a great experience. Varun and I had done a accelerated free fall course which allowed us to do solo skydiving anywhere in the world. We should do it again. It's been a while since we did it. But this is not tandem skydives, this is solo, all by yourself, so it's a lot of fun. Something which gets the adrenaline up. Maybe that's how I was raised, armed forces background, so you're always on the sporting field, always doing things outdoorsy.
When it comes to a service company like Urban Clap, you constantly get a lot of customer feedback, grievances, comments. Was there a point in time where you actually, got your hands dirty and sort of said that, hey, I'll do the service for you?
I can tell you this last week only, I was shadowing one of our AC partners. His name is Rais, and we were doing 4 AC services in a customer's home. And just outside the home, there was a car parked, and one of the outdoor units, as we were doing the service, there was some dirty water. So I was cleaning it up for Rais, and the customer just came out and said, if you don't mind, can you quickly use the jet spray to clean my car as well and then wipe it? And I said, no problem, we'll do it. So such kind of interesting things happen. But on a more serious note, in 2 of those 4 visits, we were all by ourselves in the customer's home for a considerable duration of time, which shows the level of trust that customers are putting in us, and the fact that we have to continuously work hard to earn and retain that trust.
When you see companies like a Google and an Uber, they've literally become verbs
Yeah.
in themselves. Google it or Uber it. Do you envision Urban Clap becoming a verb someday?
If we can become synonymous with home services, where anybody needs a service at home, they say that, hey, just Urban Clap it. That would be great. Once in a while we see that already, on Twitter and social media, on online chatter, where people respond to other people's queries saying just Urban Clap it, and it feels good.
So what's your next big maverick move or big bold bet?
So far Urban Clap has catered to, upper end of the society, SECA customer base. We are now actively looking at making our services more affordable, available even in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So while we are in 10 cities right now, we aspire to get into 20 and then 30. And at the same time, we also want to expand to other cities internationally. that might be of interest to us. So Dubai, we're already there. We're looking at a couple of other cities.
So wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Being our man
My
on
pleasure.
this episode.
Thank you so much.